show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Bass in your face. Bass in your face.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or watching this channel for the first time, the reason why it's called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform, we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. So, for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. I also want to let everybody know that the subscriber mode has been enabled for the first 5 minutes. What does that mean? That means that if you are not a subscriber and if you wish to enter a comment in the chat, you must be a subscriber for at least 5 minutes. I also have another YouTube channel called Latina Diaspora, where I discuss everyday issues as it pertains to Latinos, particularly Latinos born and raised in the United States. So the description to enter the channel has been pinned. Also, Gigi has a backup channel, which going forward she's going to be doing the live streams on the backup channel to try to keep the members of the circus from approaching her main channel. Okay, and the description to her backup channel is also the link to her channel is also in the description. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel, whether you've been there from the very beginning or recently joined as late as today. I really appreciate all the love, all the warmth that you continue to give me. Also, want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media, particularly Instagram and TikTok. Your continued support really touches me. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices and all those who watch from the clouds, even the haters. And it seems like the haters are getting restless now. So therefore, what I'm going to ask you to do, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. Okay. So as you can see, the topic for tonight is how to prepare for surgery, something that can cause a great deal of anxiety, also something that can cause a great deal of fear, particularly regarding not knowing what's going to happen. So I hope that tonight I could at least alleviate some of those fears and have you be prepared for surgery to get the most positive outcome, which is recovery of your health. Now, before we get into the main topic, we're going to have another episode of In My Words. So today at my job, it was Employee Recognition Day. It is the one day out of the year where municipal agencies, they devote a day, well, more likely 2 hours, to recognize the achievement of its personnel, particularly when it comes to staff that reaching milestones, such as 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, 35 years, and so on. Okay. Now, in all fairness, in my department, it's a small unit with only with 8 of us. So this year, 3 of us will be recognized for completing 25 years of service with the city. And I happen to have the blessing and the privilege of being one of those 3. Okay. And it is a major milestone, 25 years, which is really a generation. I mean, just to put it in perspective, um, when I started working for the city, Bill Clinton was in the middle of his second term. So, and of course, many of us, when we started working for the city, we had the original thought that we was going to go be there for a short time until we get something better. No, behold, many of us been working 20, 30, 40 years. So, the fact that I was able to get a little time to shine a little bit, I really appreciate it. Okay. Got a little plaque, I got a certificate. So, it's something. Okay. So, that's the good news. Now we're going to get into the what I call the clownery. Yep, I'm not going to get into too much details, but of course, you have certain people who will often paint narratives regarding certain individuals. Okay, and if you take a look at some of the um, how can I say it, flowery commentary because certain individuals, I mean, we all know for a fact that there's certain individuals that have issues, and instead of getting therapy to deal with those issues, they get upset and they get jealous and start painting narratives regarding certain people. Okay, and of course, certain narratives were made about me. I have been here in these YouTube streets for 3 years, of which um, most of that time I've been a YouTube creator. Okay, and at this point, people know the type of reputation I have. Generally, I am considered a reasonably respected person in my own way. Okay, and I have achieved uh, a great deal of success due to my support. So obviously, you have an amount of jealousy. I'm just going to keep saying the same thing again and again and again, which is the following. Um, if you're cool with me, I'm cool with you. Okay. I'm going to support who I'm going to support. I'm going to hang out with who I'm going to hang out. I'm going to like who I'm going to like. Those who cannot deal with that, well, you know what? You're not obligated to stay here. You can leave and you can join the other members of the circus and then you can try to become the ring leader yourself. Okay. And this has been going on for quite some time. And the fact of the matter, it has not succeeded. Now, insanity in its purest form is when you attempt to do something many times over and each time you're expecting a different result and you get the same result. That is insanity in a nutshell. Okay. I'm going to continue to be the best version of myself. I'm going to continue to try to produce content, which hopefully will be enjoyable, which will be educational and fun. Okay. Those who do not like my content, I'm not obligated to stay. Those who don't like the fact that I hang with certain people, guess what? No one's taking a gun to your head to stay. I'm going to be the best version of myself, and that's the best version. That's the best version of revenge, particularly when my platform continues to grow. Okay. So with that being said, and I guess tonight is a slow night, but we will continue nevertheless. Now, with everything is said and done, oh, one more thing. Um, the more the more that you continue with the false narratives, the more silly you're going to become, and you're going to lose your credibility. So, okay, so I'm just going to continue, eat my popcorn, and just be me. Now, with that being said, we're going to get into the main topic. So, the topic for tonight is how to prepare for surgery. Okay. Now, we must understand that there's certain types of surgery. Different types of surgeries can vary. It could be setting a finger. It could be doing work on your teeth, or it could be something serious like um, repairing an organ, repairing a joint. It could be a organ transplant. There are certain operations, certain types of surgery that does cause a great deal of fear. Fear. When it comes to surgery because of cancer, that's a great because it's great. A lot of it is fear of the unknown and fear of what might happen. Okay. And I remember the words of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, which says, "There is nothing to fear. Sorry, there's nothing to fear but fear itself." Um, Now, depending on what type of surgery that you're going to do, there's certain things that you need to do in order to prepare to get the best possible outcome. Okay, particularly if you're talking about like knee replacement surgery, hip replacement surgery, um, an organ transplant. Okay, first of all, it all starts with getting a qualified doctor. Okay, who is an expert on the procedure itself. Because believe me, the last thing you want to do is get some intern that just studying to be a doctor because there's some operations that require a great deal of skill. Okay, no knocking the interns, but the fact of the matter is, when it comes to your body, you want someone that's very knowledgeable. Okay, so that's the first step, and usually it's done through referrals, and sometimes you have your primary care physician. He or she will recommend a doctor to deal with your medical condition. Okay, so that's the first step. The second step is you go set up an appointment. You see the physician regarding the type of operation that you need to undergo. Now, one thing is very important. When you're dealing with a physician, you need to be honest and you need to be truthful, okay, in order for the physician to properly treat you, whether it be through medication, whether it be through therapy, or whether it be through operation. Okay, so you have an examination, and then there might be a series of examinations um, for the doctor to make a an assessment regarding your health. And the consequence it might be that you may require surgery. Okay, that's what happens when medication alone is unable to rectify the problem. Okay. However, what I would strongly recommend that you do is the following: you do your research regarding this procedure in question. Okay. Also, be sure that you ask your physician pertinent questions. Okay. Among the questions that you should ask for is, what are the risks to the procedure? That's something that's very important. Okay. Also, what things do you need to do in order to prepare? Okay. Now, depending on your current health, there might be certain things that you need to stop doing in order for you to get the most optimal outcome. Okay. For example, if you are a smoker, one of the first things that the doctor is going to encourage you to do is to quit smoking. Okay. Because when you smoke, it can interfere with the body's healing process. Okay. If you are overweight, like myself, you will need to lose weight in order for you to get the optimum outcome. Also, there's also risk involved in the procedure when you're morbidly obese. Now, contrary to what some of the people of the fat pride will tell you, uh, being obese is a detriment to your health. Okay. Also, there might be other concerns. If you are a diabetic, another thing that the doctor is going to be very concerned about is that your blood sugar is under control. Okay, because it can affect the healing process. Now, depending on the procedure in question, there may be certain specialists that there's going to be seen. Okay, there's going to be blood work involved. Okay, to make sure the blood is okay. Um, Most likely, you're going to see a cardiologist just to make sure that your heart is functioning well. You might need to see a pulmonologist to make sure that your lungs are functioning well. Okay. You may need to undergo some type of physical therapy to try to strengthen your knees. This is especially true if you're talking about having a knee replacement or a hip replacement. Okay. So you will see a you will see a specialist. You will see you may see two or three specialists. Then at some point, uh, you will see your primary care doctor um, to get a clearance so that you'll be declared medically fit to undergo the procedure. Okay. So let's say you go through, you see the expert, you see all the other experts that you need to do, and then you go see your primary care physician. Okay, and then the doctor declares that you're medically fit um, to undergo the procedure in question. And then at some point, you schedule a date for surgery. Okay. Now, depending on the doctor, it could be weeks away. Okay. Now, in my case, as far as my knee replacement, I had to undergo a lot of things in order for me to get to the point where I'm physically okay, that I'm fit to undergo a knee replacement. One of the things I had to do was lose weight. Okay, I actually lost 40 pounds. Okay, um, why was this important? First of all, we're talking about artificial knees. Okay, The heavier you are, the harder it is for artificial needs to work. And then what happens is the knees eventually wear out. Okay. Unfortunately, my left, the artificial prosthesis on my left knee became loose. As a result, I was walking with a limp and I required to use a cane. And sometimes I was required to use a walker. So that's the first. So I had to lose weight. And lo and behold, um, I lost the weight needed in order for me to be a good candidate for the procedure. Oh, also you also undergo X-rays, um, depending on the part of the body that needs to be made whole. So I undergo many X-rays regarding my knee. Actually, going through both knees. Uh, I want to let everybody know before I continue that the link to join the panel has been pinned. Should anyone wishes to join hit the panel and opine regarding the subject, you may do so. Okay. Good evening, Irby. Thank you very much for stopping by. So no, this is going to be. I'm just having a discussion regarding how to prepare for surgery. Something that's very relevant for me because I'm scheduled to undergo a knee replacement Friday morning. Okay. So you see the expert. You go through all the specialties that you need to do. You go through the X-rays, okay, and then you schedule a date, okay, and then what the doctor will do, depending on the nature of the procedure, he or she will prescribe you certain medication to take, and if you're taking some medication, there may be some types of medication that the doctor will tell you not to take temporarily until after the procedure is over, because by taking those type of medication, it could have an adverse effect regarding your procedure. Okay. So the doctor will give you, the surgeon will give you those instructions. Also, depending on the nature, you may have to prepare your home um, for when you get discharged. Okay, let me just give you an example in my case. So I have to make sure that since I have a knee replacement, the things I have to make sure that everything as far as food, as far as certain items are within hand's reach, which I don't have to bend over. Okay. Now, in the case of a knee replacement, one of the things that the surgeon does it advise, particularly if you live alone, is you freeze meals. Because, so that way, when you get home, all you have to do is just heat it up in the microwave. Okay. So I did the next best thing. I put a bunch of microwave meals and I'm just gonna pop it in the microwave because I'm in no condition to cook. I would not be in no condition to cook. You have to make sure that you have a clear path to get around your home. You have to make sure there's no risk of you tripping or slipping, falling. So you have to make sure that you have a clear path. Okay. Also, if you have pets, you're going to need help to someone to take care of those pets, particularly the dog. Okay. Okay. Laundry, there might be certain tasks that you're not going to be able to do for a while. Laundry is one of them. Cooking is another one. You might need some help as far as um, doing some household chores. So if you can get someone to assist you, that's usually much better. Okay. So you go through all the pre-op, you go through the medical clearance, you have your blood work done, you have your X-ray done, you prepare your home, and then the doctor will give you a date, a time to report the surgery. Most of the time, it's going to be 2 to 3 hours prior to the procedure. Okay. Now, in my case, I'm going through what's called a revised knee replacement. Meaning, what I am doing is, what they're going to do is, they're going to remove the artificial, what's called the artificial prosthesis, and then they're going to put in a new artificial prosthesis. Okay. And on the day of surgery, I'm going to be asked this question, I think, 55 million times. What is my name? Jose Negron. Why am I here? I'm here for a revised knee replacement. For which knee? The left knee. It's going to sound ridiculous. It's going to sound mundane. It's going to sound asinine being asked the same question 6,000 times. There is a reason behind it. They want to make sure that they operate on the correct, to do the correct procedure and the correct knee. It's called a safety check. Okay. Now, the reason why you're going to report 2 hours prior is because, first of all, you have to sign all the paperwork regarding the anesthesia, and then they're going to discuss with you what type of anesthesia. Basically, what's going to happen is, when it comes to anything like knee replacement surgery, hip replacement surgery, open heart surgery, kidney transplant, you're going to be asleep a lot because you don't want to be up and awake when you see these people performing the procedure, because it's going to scare the bejesus off you. So after the discussion regarding what type of anesthesia that they're going to give you, they're going to start to administer you. And of course, you're going to change. You're going to get rid of your nice clothes, and you're going to be wearing basically a huge blanket with sleeves, okay, called a robe. So, and then they're going to start an IV, and then they're going to start to administer you by antibiotics, and then they're going to talk with you regarding anesthesia. Oh, before that, they will also discuss with you risks involved. Okay. Now, let me just give you, when it comes to a knee replacement. Okay. First of all, there is the risk of infection. Okay. Okay. Because the problem with hospitals, they're loaded with infections. Okay. That's why they try to keep the hospital relatively cool to try to kill the germs. Because it is a proven fact that cold kills germs, or at least it reduces the spread of germs. So that's one. Risk. Another risk is blood clotting. Okay, because basically what's happening is that when you're having a knee replacement, you're going to be bed bound. Well, okay, you're going to be bed bound after the procedure. Okay, you're going to have this. You're going to have this tether on your leg. Your penis is going to be connected to the catheter so you can urinate. Okay, so there is the risk of blood clot. Okay, and if left untreated, guess what? It can spread to all over the body, and then you can become feel sick. There's also the risk, very small, that you can die. Yep. It's a small risk. You can die from the procedure. Okay. So now, as far as how long does the procedure last, it varies with the type of procedure in question. In my case, I'm going to be doing a revised knee replacement, which will last anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. Okay. So after they do the procedure, what they will do is they'll bring you to the recovery room where you recover from the anesthesia. Okay. Many times they may put you on oxygen to help you to breathe. Okay. And then Um, After you have your procedure, there's there's two possible outcomes. You might get discharged, you might get sent home the same day, or you might stay overnight, or you might stay maybe 1 or 2 nights. In my case, I have been told that I'm going to be in the hospital for 3 days, which means I'll be in the hospital from Friday to Monday. Okay. Now, in the case of a knee replacement, okay, if you have your procedure in the morning, you can rest assured by the afternoon, you're going to be up and around walking with assistance. Okay. You, and in a knee replacement, your knee is going to feel like it's 10,000 pounds. Okay. Part of it has to do because it's, the muscles are numb, and part of it has to do you have no, with the side effects of the anesthesia. In the case of a knee replacement, you're going to be a force. So they're going to tell you, under no circumstances are you to try to get out of bed without any assistance. Okay? Because you can fall and hurt yourself very bad. So what they're going to do is, in a knee, as far as knee replacement surgery, after that, they're going to bring you a walker, and then they're going to encourage you strongly to try to walk, and you're going to be doing it's going to you're going to be doing walking at a snail's pace. So you're not going to be doing any running. You're not going to be doing any jogging. You'll be moving like with all the grace and speed of a snail. And of course, um, the first night is not going to be very enjoyable because you're going to be lying on your back, and you're going to be under pain. You're going to be taking all this medication, and then just to spike things up, all throughout the night, you're going to have medical staff that's going to come in. They're going to take blood samples. They're going to check your blood sugar. They're going to give you medication. So believe me, the first night, after your a procedure, most likely you're not going to get a lot of sleep. Okay, it does get better. Okay, and of course, one of the things they're going to, well, after before they discharge you, they're gonna set certain parameters. They're gonna set certain goals to make sure that when you are discharged, you are able to function safely at home, with restrictions, of course, but safely. So what they happen is they might give you even more medication um, to take, as part of the healing process. Um, Now, as far as dealing with the pain, you will be taking an opioid. Okay, you will be taking medication to ease the pain. Now, I never it's a state. It's ease the pain, not eliminate the pain. Before I forget, they're going to tell you you use how to call about. So if you want the nurse to come or someone to help assist you, or you can also use it to administer pain medicine because you will be taking pain medicine because you're going to be in pain. Okay. I mean, the only thing close, I mean, I think it's the closest thing a man can feel with when women going through a pregnancy is a knee replacement. Okay. So on the day of discharge, you will be given your instructions. You'll depending on the procedure, you will undergo physical therapy. You may see other specialists as far as occupational parent, occupational therapist. In the case of a knee replacement, you will be taught how to dress yourself and how to walk and things of that nature. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is just give me a moment. I'm going to share an article. Okay. Just give me a moment. In all fairness, I don't think this is going to last very long because It's Wednesday night, and people are most likely going to catch this on the playback. So let me see if I can share my screen. Okay. Just give me a moment. Now, what I have here is what's called a preparing for surgery checklist. So there's a video here, but I'm not going to play it. So there are several steps to take before your surgery so you feel relaxed and confident as possible. Let's just answer some questions. And these are things that are very important. Is your physician qualified? Make sure you ask physician questions regarding, their expertise regarding the procedure, okay, in question. Okay. Again, you do not want to get some person that's learning to be a doctor to operate with you, particularly if you're talking about a major procedure. Okay. Is the facility licensed and accredited and an emergency procedure are in place? If you're having a surgery outside of a hospital, like an outpatient facility or your doctor's office, be sure it's licensed. Check with the state health department and appropriately accredited by organizations such as the Commission, the Accreditation Association for Ambulatory Health, or the American Association for Accreditation for Ambulatory Facilities. Okay, basically, okay. Now, there are some procedures where you're not going to be doing in the hospital. I mean, particularly when it comes to plastic surgery. But whenever you do, make sure that the facility in question, whether it be a hospital or other facility, make sure that they are accredited and that they have all the credentials and things of that nature. Now, here's another question. Who will provide anesthesia? Be sure that your anesthesia care is led by an anesthesiologist. An anesthesiologist is a medical doctor who specializes in anesthesia, pain management, and critical care medicine, and works with your surgeon and other physicians to develop and administer your anesthesia with a care plan. Okay. Now here is another factor. Are you as healthy and then as healthy as I can be? Okay. Again, if you have certain health issues, such as smoking or vaping, or if you are diabetic, if you are morbidly obese, you need to address those issues before you go ahead and have surgery. And here's a spend the time before the procedure being as active as you can, eating right, and getting good sleep. If you smoke, stop as soon as possible, even if it's just a day or two for surgery. Because smoking can cause problems with breathing and recovery from the anesthesia and surgery. Okay. Another thing, and this is a big problem for a lot of people. How to avoid surprise medical bills. While your health and safety are your priority, it's also important to make sure that your insurance company is in order before surgery so you don't receive unexpected bills. Surprise medical bills are caused by surprise insurance gaps that occur when your insurance plan offers a low premium but limits the number of physicians in the plan network. Before a medical examiner who will be involved in your care and whether they are in your plan's network. Call your insurance provider to verify the hospital or medical center and each physician and provider caring for your network. That is the state of things, particularly when we're living with the state of medical care in the United States, when you have to depend on an HMO. Okay, now the next part has to do with dealing with the anesthesiologist. Sometime before your surgery, you should meet with the anesthesiologist so he or she can gather information that will help determine the right anesthesia plan for you. Go to the meeting prepared to discuss your medical history, your health habits, and your past experience with surgery and anesthesia. Be sure to discuss these things in detail. Remember what I said before? Be truthful and do not hold anything when it comes to your health. This is a part. This is a key factor. Why? Okay. Tell your anesthesia is all about your health, such as how physically active you are, and if you have chronic health issues such as asthma or lung problems, diabetes, heart disease, liver or kidney disease, allergies, and other medical conditions, be sure to mention if you snore or have other sleep problems. There may be symptoms of an obstructive sleep apnea, which can make surgery and anesthesia more dangerous. Before a list of all prescribed and over-the-counter medication supplements, vitamins you take. Your anesthesia might tell you to stop taking something. Very important. And again, it's a key. Be honest with your physician. Be honest with the anesthesia regarding the state of nature of your health, regarding what health concerns that you have, regarding your medication, because it is to your benefit to be truthful and honest. Now, here's another topic which can be very sensitive. Your use of alcohol or recreational drugs. The use of recreational drugs such as alcohol, marijuana, narcotics, and other stimulants should be discussed. These substances can affect how you react to anesthesia and types of amount that you need. Again, you need to be honest, okay? If you're smoking weed, make sure you tell that doctor you're smoking weed. If you're consuming a large amount of alcohol, be sure you tell them. You don't want to keep secrets, and particularly these type of secrets. Now, the next thing to consider is your experience with anesthesia. Tell the anesthesiologist if you or a family that had a bad reaction to anesthesia or pain medication. And make them aware of the anesthesia side effects you experience, even if they occurred years ago. Often mention that you ever had a stroke or experienced a heat stroke. Okay. Your fears. It's natural to feel surgery anesthesia. If you're afraid, tell your anesthesia. She can give information to ease your mind and help you to feel safe. Another thing, questions. Ask whatever questions. Okay? Even if you sound like the most dotted asinine questions, ask it anyway. The only type of question that's a dumb question is the question that you don't raise, and then you think about it just as you're getting ready to go to sleep. Bring written questions to your meeting. Write down the answers because it's difficult to remember everything to hear. You hear. And your friend or family member will be taking notes and ask questions as well as provide information you may not have thought of. Um, Last thing, let's see. One thing, your recovery. The anesthesia continue to care for you after surgery, so ask how the pain will be managed and any concern that you have of recovering, returning home, getting back to your normal routine. I remember when I had my left knee done the first time, the very first question was the concern about getting addicted to the opioids. And particularly in my case, because I was taking oxycodone and morphine combined. So basically, I was taking two powerful opioids to try to deal with the pain. Now there's certain expectations when it comes to what you think should happen after you have surgery. Okay, so let me just discuss with you those things. Follow pre-surgery directions and diet unless you're having only local anesthesia. Maybe try not to eat or drink anything after midnight before your procedure. This is because of the rare risk of food or liquid in your stomach getting to your lungs while you're under sedation or general anesthesia. As your anesthesia seances for guidance, you may be told to drink clear water, liquids, and take your regular medication. In my case, I have been told do not eat anything past midnight. And as far as your medication, take the medication you've been instructed to take with a small sip of water. Good luck. Bring a friend. You won't be allowed to drive after outpatient surgery or even a few days in the hospital. If you're taking pain medication, plan to have someone to take you home. Yeah. Wear comfortable clothing. Wear or bring loose-fitting clothing. Your body might be sore or swollen from surgery, or you may have bulky bandages over your symptoms. Leave jewelry and valuables at home. Believe me, when you undergo a knee replacement or a hip replacement, it's gonna be sore and it's gonna have bandages, and you really need to wear loose-fitting clothing. Okay. Okay. And we're gonna park it here. So basically, that's quite a bit to digest. But let me just try to break this down even further. Okay. And I get it. This is not a subject that people want to talk about because fear of the unknown and things of that nature. And but it's something that I felt it was relevant. So the bottom line is this: when you undergo, when you are in the process of preparing for surgery, there are many steps that you need to take for you to get the optimal outcome that you need. And the optimal outcome is that you are able to return to normal life as much as possible, as quickly as possible. Depending on what's being done, it can take days, it can take weeks, it can take months. Okay. In my case, regarding a knee replacement, it can take easily over a year to fully recover. Okay. And let me explain to you the why. When you're talking about a procedure to repair a knee, what you need to do is remove the part of the knee that's ill, or resurface the knee, and then put in like a prosthesis. And you have to make sure that it's a perfect fit. After you have your procedure, particularly when it comes to a knee replacement or hip replacement, you will undergo physical therapy, and you will need to do this every day. You'll be given exercises to perform, and you need to do that every day, 3 times a day. You're gonna have a therapist, a physical therapist. You will need to do your physical therapy um, 3 times a week. You may see an occupational therapist. You need to mix. So there are medical staff that's going to help you in your recovery to get to the point when you are able to resume your normal duties. One thing it's very important when it comes to knee replacement. You need to stop moving that knee. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why. Failure to move that knee, what's going to happen is it's going to create scar tissue, and then the knee is going to get stiff. And guess what? What's going to happen is you're going to need another procedure to unstiffen the knee. You do not want to do that. Okay, so it is extremely important that you do your physical therapy You do your exercises in the way that the physical therapist instruct you to do. Also, that you maintain a healthy diet, take your medication. Now, one thing, please take your pain medication before you do your physical therapy and your exercises, because if you do not, your knees are going to hurt real bad. And what's going to happen is you're going to be tempted not to do your physical therapy, which is the worst thing you can do. Believe me. Let me just give you a case in point. I remember my mother, God rest her soul, when she had a home attendant that underwent a knee replacement. Apparently, she didn't complete her physical therapy, so she walked very rigidly. Okay, and another thing is they're gonna have certain goals when it comes to knee replacements, which is one of them is the optimal goal is to get your knee to bend to at least 120 degrees. And yes, they're gonna measure how your knee bends, and then what they're gonna do is they're gonna bend it, and you're gonna be yelling and screaming, which is why you got to take your pain medication prior to physical therapy. And whatever you do, do not take your pain medication before you go to bed because you're not gonna be able to sleep. Okay. Okay. Am I a doctor? No. Am I a physician? No. I'm telling you from my own personal experience, going through two knee replacements. Okay. So I think I should. I think I do know a little bit more than some person that never gone through a knee replacement. Eventually, it's going to get to the point where you're going to transition. So instead of using a walker, you'll be using a cane. And then eventually you'll get to the point where you don't need to use a cane at all. You'll be able to walk. Now, physical therapy, outpatient physical therapy, that could last a good 3 to 6, two, no, up to 6 months, depending, okay, how much you progress and what is the condition of your body. Okay, so when it comes to preparing for surgery, there are many things that you have to do. There are many things you need to be aware of. Then, okay, but hopefully, hopefully, um, by going through all this, at least you will not be as fearful regarding having preparing for surgery. Okay, and surgery could be anything. It's a tooth extraction. It could be setting a finger. It could be putting a root canal, or it could be something as major as open heart surgery, knee replacement surgery, or hip replacement surgery. Okay, or open heart surgery. Okay, but in any case, you need to be prepared. You need to take certain actions. You need to make sure that you are at the best possible health possible, so that way you can get the optimal outcome, which is to be able to resume your life without the medical issues. Okay, so I have been talking for almost an hour. Okay, so I'm going to repeat myself. Should anyone wishes to join the panel, they may do so and opine. Now, or maybe there might be someone in the audience that's gone through surgery, and perhaps he or she would like to share their personal experience when it comes to surgery, whether it be something as minor as setting a finger or having um, an organ transplant or a heart or a joint replacement or a hip replacement. And of course, all of you are more than welcome to enter your comments in the chat. If no one else wishes to join the panel or enter any comments in the chat, I will start to wrap this down. Okay. As far as why am I discussing this, it is because of the fact that it's something that many of us may have to undergo. And of course, depending on the procedure itself, as far as what needs to be done, there may be a lot of concern, there may be a lot of fear. Okay. Particularly when you're talking about something that's elective, something which will require you to be put under anesthesia, where you're going to be asleep, it's always a certain amount of fear. Part of it has to do with fear of the unknown, and also fear regarding complications and health risk are involved. But the reason why that you need to be transparent with the physician is that to reduce those risks of a negative outcome. And also, it will create a plan of action to deal with those health issues that can interfere with your recovery. Okay. In my case, I lose a lot, about 40 pounds, which I'm sure my knees would appreciate it. Okay. And of course, watch my diet, things of that nature, and so I am prepared. I completed all my pre-op work. I done everything that needed to be done. So the next step is just to get in there and get the procedure done. Okay. I will continue to give you my update regarding my revised knee replacement. Again, the reason why I'm doing this is that basically I'm blogging and to encourage those who are going through similar situation to be able to purchase with less fear but with more knowledge. Okay, so as far as next week's schedule, it's going to be I'm definitely going to do streams 3 times a week. I don't know how I'm going to. Okay, I just have to wait and see. See, your good mood. Okay, let me just see. Are you in a good mood? That place. Okay, this is where. Okay, this is where I'm at. I'm not gonna lie. I have a certain amount of concern, nervousness because of the procedure. The good thing is that this is not the first time I'm going through this, and it's not really going to be any surprises. Number one. Number two, and of course, I do research. That means I look at videos, I look at read material, and I ask questions, and I try to stay on top of my health. You have to, okay? Particularly as you get older, okay? You get older, so therefore it's even more. You have more of an incentive to try to stay on top of your health, okay? Particularly if you're undergoing a major procedure, okay? Or maybe put it this way, any procedure. So these are things to take into consideration. I'll probably do a stream Tuesday night, Thursday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. Thursday night is the 4th of July. So we'll see what happens because they're going to be shooting off fireworks. So, so you're going to hear that. You probably hear that in the background. Okay. One thing I might do more often is morning streams, particularly now that I'm home. I'm home. How I'm gonna do that? I'll have to figure that out because I will be dealing with my exercises. I will also have to deal with sketching with the physical therapist. So we shall see. In any case, I will be out for 2 months. I will be returning back to work August the 27th, which is on the Tuesday. So, in any case, before we wrap this up, let me just discuss um, the stream for tomorrow, the thing for tomorrow night stream. So it'll be another episode when I discuss humorous moments on the channel. Okay, so there have been some humorous moments, something more recent. So I'm gonna try to share the video. Basically, it's more of a time to chill and relax and have fun. Okay, because since not everything is serious here on this platform, you gotta learn to relax. You gotta learn to have some fun, and um, you know, to do a shell string. Okay, but in any case, I do appreciate the amount of people wishing me, good wishes for my upcoming surgery, which kind of which dispels the myth that some individuals like to spin that I'm lonely, that I don't have any friends, I don't have any loved ones. Okay, I do. Okay, but you're gonna understand the source is just that unfortunately you have people who have mental health issues. You have people that suffer from low self-esteem. So the only way they can feel good is to spread false narratives regarding certain individuals. I mean, it is sad. It's really terrible, but that is the nature of it. Okay, you have people who would rather try to tear people down than to try to seek therapy. But, but in any case, I will start to wrap this up. So again, it is my sincere hope wish that with this episode, it will take at least some of the fear regarding preparing for surgery. Okay, and of course, the playback gang can catch the stream, and then you can enter your comments after the stream is over. Just keep it respectable because if you don't, it's gonna be deleted. Okay, so but I really appreciate all the love and all the support all of you continue to give me. So with that being said, of course I'm gonna close the same way that I'm always closing. We must do everything possible to avoid the presence of the mentally and intellectually challenged, because if we fail to do so, we would be infected by their stupidity and massive insanity. This has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Arsenic Brown, saying good night, take care, and peace.